can you just tell us sort of where we are and what we're going to be looking at?
Right, we're at Handale Abbey, which is on the edge of Loftus. The site was formerly a Cistercian priory. 19th wall garden was it was a 19th century wall garden. It used to be an orchard. It's listed building. It was on the authorities at risk register.
Right.
And basically, the national park applied to the Nottingham Moors Coast and Hills Leader Programme to have a project to primarily seek the walls restoration.
So what were the walls like? Were they sort of falling down?
They were very, very poor state. A lot of it was fallen down. I've got some photos which you can maybe put alongside it to show what it was like before. Very, very bad. Tree stumps basically just disused completely. We did a project with Leader to see its restoration and also to increase interpretation and knowledge of it, because it is right on the edge of Loftus. There's a footpath that runs just to the other side of the site, and the farmer kindly agreed to allow permissive access for people to come off that footpath for diversion and into the site itself. So
it had been under his sort of care previously to that?
It's his ownership, but obviously from an economic point of view it's not much. There's lots of money to put into it, and there's no sort of viable use for it really, other than with it being part of local heritage. So National Park got involved to sort of help him restore it as well, and in return he's provided public access and maintenance of it in the meantime.
So when I came along here this morning thinking, Helmsley wall garden type of thing, and this is obviously on a much smaller scale. Do you know anything about wall gardens in terms of the range that they? I mean, this is obviously just purely for as an orchard.
As an orchard, yeah. I mean, primarily maybe a bit of the history of the site might help. It used to be Cistercian priory, and apparently it used to be the monks used to come when they got in trouble down at Templeforth or Byland Abbey, that sort of area. They used to have to come up here as serve sort of the penance.
Oh, what did they used to get up to? Do you have any?
But I think part of its remoteness was the fact that it was people were sent here when they'd been naughty, and they had to then come here and
repent their sins.
And the remoteness of it, and I presume the harshness in winter were all part of it, and they used to have to walk up here from the lowlands, repent their sins.
Right. So originally, apart from a few orchard trees, would there have been anything else in this wall garden, or was it simply as an orchard?
I think, as far as I know, it's purely as an orchard. We don't quite know where the priory was here, whether it was over. I mean, it's quite possible it was over there.
Just have a scan round. So what we're looking at now, there's lots of noisy turkeys and geese around, and there's the farmhouse. Yeah.
I mean, it could have been anywhere in that site really. Maybe the site of the farmhouse itself. We just don't know that.
So have there been excavations around here? No. Right.
None whatsoever. There's a pond the other side of there, which obviously has links to it as well. And then this would have been presumably the orchard that served it. So
what's the kind of maintenance now that will need to be done on this site? I suppose just grass cutting.
Grass cutting, obviously looking after the trees. A local beekeeper has kindly brought some bees.
Oh, excellent.
Which you can
Where
just
are they
see
coming? Oh yeah.
The bees at the end, so they come up regularly and look after those. Obviously it's not great bee weather.
No.
It's not been a great bee summer.
And we have some artwork.
We have artwork. This was commissioned by a local firm. I can't think off my head.
Yeah.
But they've done
That's beautiful.
This seat, which obviously incorporates the apples.
Yeah.
There's been an orchard. And there's also an interpretation panel over the other side, which
on the footpath side.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It takes a local legend, which I won't say much about because you went to come up here and see it. So
okay. Yeah.
So we can show it, but I don't think we should say too much, and people come and see for themselves.
Absolutely.
Unless you want me to, of course.
No, that's fine. And the apple trees, were they chosen as sort of specific varieties, old varieties, or?
They're old varieties. They were taken or kindly supplied by Huswaite, an orchard down at Huswaite, who was another Leader project.
Yep.
And they kind of sort of thought about the era of the Cistercian priory priory and what sort of trees might have been around. So we've got to sort of try and got local trees and local variety. So
yes, I filmed Cameron up at the Huswaite project, so
right.
you know we know.
Yeah, so it's good links to that
it's
as well.
Excellent, excellent.
And they kindly provided some trees, which nice link up to projects and. Yeah.
So who do you think will be the sort of the typical visitors? It'll be people sort of from Loftus having a nice sort of walk up from the town, and
exactly. Well, it is quite close to the town, so any sort of walkers, anybody interested in local heritage.
right.
The school are getting involved. Local St Joseph's School, they're getting involved, and they've actually been for a walk up here. End of last year, they did a nice walk up here. We got Sue Slack from Lewisham, who's a local sort of arts. She's an artist, but she has worked in schools, and she sort of got the school involved and told about the history of it and this
right.
local legend, and it's got them really sort of enthused in it. And they are hopefully going to design the images that they produced, design a little gate to go on the entrance.
Oh, is it right? Okay.
As a bit of them putting a bit of.
And that's going to be what, made out of iron, or?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Iron. Probably. We'll see what costs we have, but possibly just quite a plain sort of gate that does 3/4 of it, and then put all the detail into a little hand gate.
Right.
So obviously it's not cheap, so
No.
these sorts of projects, but that element's going to be funded through the small scale enhancement scheme.
Okay.
Which is what I run, and that's a leader funded project through the national park as well. So.